Howdy, folks. I promised the other day that I'd give you an update for those that are interested, at least, on what I had to do to make friends with this full video. But before we do that, I had to make a parts run to the hardware store and get a couple of all-thread connectors so I can add some accessories to my camera mount stuff. Anyway, I'll tinker with this. Hopefully this thing is actually recording sound because it generally takes a few seconds. This great old big magnet base. Put a 1/4-20 all thread connector on there. I can use that to screw my camera on. I'm gonna turn you around here. I've been connecting that thing with just a little old one nut and it don't work very well. So I thought here we go, have some recording options. Okay, turn that around there. All right, by golly, now then, I got two of those so I can put the other one on my high-tech tripod. Look there. By golly. All right. Now then, I'm going to take you back off of here. That seems to mount. If I can get this magnet there, off of there, and screw it from that base if I don't make you too dizzy. And we'll put you back up here and get started. Oops. I guess we got to leave that part behind. And it's not going to let me do that with one hand. There we go. You stay there. That connector needs to stay on there. That connector needs to stay on there. And naturally, it's going to be upside down and backwards, of course. We'll turn that around. Hope y'all don't get too dizzy. All right, here we go. Let's bring you down here and bust this weed eater apart. I'll show you what we had to do to make it happy. Fall on the floor. It's a good place for it, wasn't it? All right, get this off. I was so bummed out last week. I finally figured out how to get together a full-length video, a whole hour, in fact, only to find out that my not so high-tech recording equipment, i.e. this phone, and my Magic Movie app, and my iCloud will only allow me to upload about 15 minutes at a time. So my hour-long worth of stuff that I was so proud of, I had to break up into 4 semi-coherent short videos. Anyway, and my blabberiness will probably go long also. All righty. If you're new to what I've got going on here, or even if you're not new, it won't take very long to figure out that I'm very new at this and learning. Struggling to learn, I guess, is probably more accurate. I don't know if you can see what all's going on here. What I'm doing is pulling this carburetor back off of this little weed eater so I can show you what I've done. I don't know why you'd be interested, but you might be. Anyway, it is now a lot cleaner than it was when I first took it apart. In this side is the fuel pump diaphragm. Some of you may know, may not. I'm not going to take it back apart because I've got away with that twice already. And anyway, the problem that I had and what was making this thing so mad, if you watched my other videos, you've seen me do battle with this thing, and it's obvious that it was flooding instantly. Well, under here, I found what I think was making it so mad. And I throw that on the floor so we'll never find it again. In that little bitty gasket, if you look really close, and if I can hold it still, these two little flaps are check valves. One of them, this one right here, I'm going to say, was bent down and did not stay above the surface. I stuck my pocket knife in there and ever so gently, let me cut it off of there, forced it to bend up. And this one the same. But I don't know if you can see it or not, but now it just barely sticks up over the surface. And it needed to. I'm gonna keep talking while I look for that screw. This may take, yeah. It has gone into another dimension, I'm sure. Oh, here it is, there it is. So, to make this story even longer and furthermore, we'll throw this back together and see if I've made it mad again. I hope not, because, well, I just hope not. But now that I see what it is, it might be worth actually spending a couple dollars on a carburetor kit. But this thing is, I've had it for 8 or 10 years, and I wasn't about to go spend money on it until I had a better idea of what was going on with it. It has always ran every time until this last couple of weeks, but it has never ran right. Always ran, always start, but never run right. Well, since I've done the little gasket modification, it has run right. It's run better than it ever has, in fact. So it might be worth actually spending a few dollars on to see if we can keep it happy. All right, how many times is it going to take this time to get these screws to start? Look at that. Almost makes it look like I've done this before, i.e. a couple days ago. All righty. I cut that off where it fits just right. Now I can't get my little stubby fingers back in there to plug it back in. Come on now, get over there. Go on now. Go on now. You probably can't see what I'm fighting with behind that, because my little fat fingers and my big fat head's blocking your view. Any case, we're trying to get that little old short, cuts fit just right hose back on the fuel bulb. There we go. Let's give this a couple squirts and see if I made it mad again. Choke on. Would you look at that there? Would you just look at that? I mean, would you look at it? It's happy again. All right. Now, if you happen to, anybody with real sharp eyes happen to notice before I knocked the working end of this thing off, you'll see that something weird is going on with the string head. That push button don't really look right. Well, that's because it's not right. The original button was completely worn off, and this thing wasn't working good enough to spend money on. But I dug around and found an old backup light lens, and the socket was completely rotted out of, but this lens fit in that hole just perfect. Well, with a little bit of modification. A lot of modification. But it worked. It worked. It allowed me to use the weed eater 2 or 3 times before it got mad and wouldn't run. Well, now it seems to be happy and willing to run, so it might be worth a trip to the lawnmower shop to see if we can find a button for it, and possibly order some gaskets for the carburetor. Anyway, I don't know why anybody would be interested in that other than just to see what this crazy hillbilly's doing today. But if you found this entertaining, I appreciate you staying this long. If you want to see more of what antics I may be up to next, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll keep tinkering. In the meantime, y'all have a blessed day now, you hear?